Criteo. You are going to hear from Dave Schwartz in just a minute. I wanted to call your attention to, I don't know if these are on the tables or not, but here are our 2017 first half insider summits for your possible pleasure. Not that you come here for pleasure, you come here to learn about things, of course. But we're going to be in Austin in March, right around the time of South by Southwest. We're going to be in Scottsdale in March. We'll be at Captiva Island, Florida in end of April. The Search Insider Summit's going to be there. We took this show to Captiva Island about 6 years in a row, and the staff got tired of it. And when we left, the attendee said, "Why don't you go back to Captiva?" So we're going to do it this year. I think you'll find it a nice venue. It's surrounded by beach, and I think if you choose to come, it should be a great time. And then we have a publishing summit in Amelia Island, Florida, about a month later. So there's nothing like MediaPost insider summits for the kind of experience you're having right here. We do it 14 times a year, including 2 times overseas. So, by the way, we have tentatively scheduled to take the Search Insider Summit to Europe in late June. So stay tuned for that message. Criteo's been a good supporter of MediaPost shows and MediaPost publishing. We appreciate their support, and today you're going to hear from Dave Schwartz, VP Sales and Account Strategy for Criteo. He's going to speak to you about what he's going to tell you he's going to speak to you about, because it's not on these sheets. Dave, come on up and tell him what you're going to speak about.
All right, thanks, Ken. So before I get started, thanks everyone for joining and attending this presentation. Thanks for the sponsors for putting on a great show, as always. Always have a lot of fun here. Haven't been at this show for about 3 years now. So I want to give a special thanks to Johnny Whitfield there in the back. He's like any good smack dealer. Like you're when you're at your lowest moment, he calls you up and boom, he drags you back in. So I'm going to talk about machine learning today, in keeping with the theme of the day so far. Machine learning, I think, is a topic that's near and dear to everyone's hearts here. I know there were a lot of spirited discussions today about AI and ML and the role that can play in search. And so I wanted to provide our perspective on it. We've built a lot of technology within our company that leverages machine learning. So I wanted to talk to you guys today about how we might bring that into the search space. So first, a little background on the machine learning space. Not all technology solutions are machine learned solutions. Machine learning means you're actually training a machine to respond to stimuli, to take action on things in real time. It's a very long-standing industry. The first machine learn program was to play checkers in 1952. So 65 years of machine learning gets us to where we are today, where machines are doing things like driving cars autonomously through cities and playing very sophisticated games like chess and Go and beating human opponents. I just watched a presentation the other day with Elon Musk, and he was saying that in the new versions of the Teslas that are coming out next year, the car will actually drop you off at your residence, go and park itself in the city, and when you need it again, you can summon it and it will come right back to you. So pretty amazing applications being developed today in the machine learning space. So what about search and media campaigns? Why haven't we been able to give our campaigns over to machines to do things that maybe we couldn't do ourselves, or things that weren't super apparent to the naked eye? Where are we today when it comes to machine learning and search, and more specifically paid search? So search today still seems to depend a lot on human intervention, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, machine learning systems depend a lot on human intervention to continue to update them and keep them learning at a significant rate over time. But one of the things that surprises me when I go out and talk to marketers is just how much human intervention is involved in things that we would believe on the surface should be handled by machines. So one example of this, we're in the holidays right now, and we talk to a lot of retail marketers here at Criteo. And the thing I hear over and over again is we use algorithmic bid management, but during the holidays we go manual. So we go and we take information that we as humans are seeing in the marketplace, seeing on our sites, and we go manual and override what our machine counterparts on the bidding side are doing. And that's not to say that we haven't made great strides in the space so far. I mean, this conference itself is a real testament to all of the cool innovations and technologies that are being developed in the search space. But if you take some of the more interesting technologies that have been developed, so Google released something that we all know and love a couple years ago called RLSA, where we can actually bring user data, data about our customers into the search marketplace. The tools that manage this space today still take significant shortcuts. And what we see when we go out and we look at folks' search campaigns are that generally marketers are using targeting capabilities that are offered by Google and the tools. But those targeting capabilities that they use are often pretty coarse. And so I see this a lot in campaigns where you'll have a couple audiences set up to drive better engagement with customers, to drive bid modification, but these segments are very general. So take the segment, this is a person who came to my site in the last 30 days. There's a whole range of different types of customers, different value of customers that live within that bucket. Yet largely we're setting the same bid or the same bid modifier for that customer. Same with purchaser the last 30 days. You could have someone that bought a pair of socks and you'll never see them again, or you could have someone who bought gifts for their whole family and spent thousands and thousands of dollars on your site, yet when they come back you're treating them the same way with your bid strategies. Another example of this is how we structure our campaigns in search today. Based on all of the information we have about our products, our keywords, our site, we are then intervening ourselves and setting up some kind of predetermined structure to our campaigns. So we're grouping products by the category of the product or the brand of the product. And what we're doing when we do this is we're saying, we know that there's commonalities between these products, or we know that there's commonalities between these keywords, but we don't know the full extent to the commonality there, but yet we're taking the shortcut to group them together, so then we're dealing with them as a class, we're bidding them as a class, and it's actually biasing the results of the campaign because we don't understand the full nature of that commonality between the products that we're grouping together. So when it comes to truly using technology to automate our campaigns and learn from stimuli that's coming from the marketplace, coming from the user base, coming from the sites, to use a highly lame skiing reference, because we are in Park City, we are still on the green slopes. So what can we do to get better? What can we develop? So what if your search technology could really consider all of the things that we as managers are considering when we're organizing our campaigns, when we're making bids, when we're going manual over the holidays because we know something about a particular product or a particular offer or the conversion rate of our site on certain days or certain times of the day. What if our technology systems could handle that? So going back to the RLSA example, instead of segmenting our audiences by basic things we know about that audience, so did they visit in the last 30 days? Did they abandon a cart? Did they did they buy something on the site? So instead of segmenting our audiences by those pieces of information, what if we could segment our audience based on what we truly believe the value of the customer is, based on all of the behaviors that they exhibited on the site? We would come to a much more effective bid strategy, and we'd be able to engage with our customers in a better way that they'd want to be engaged with by us. What about on the bidding side? So what if we could take all of those pieces of information we have about our products and our keywords in the marketplace and turn that into a grouping of products or a grouping of keywords that truly reflected how common the characteristics of those keywords were? We'd be much better inclined to drive value for ourselves and our advertisers. And we could even take it a step further. What if you could actually predict, using elasticity data, the effect of every bid change? So we know, working with marketers across the globe, one of the biggest questions that our marketers have is, what happens when I make a bid change, or if I change a bid modifier? There is some good information provided by Google. There are some tools in the marketplace that help us understand this. But what if we could truly predict the result of every bid change? We would drive much higher profitability in our campaigns. Additionally, what if we understood the interdependencies of all the various elements in our campaign? So instead of setting a geo modifier and setting a mobile or device modifier and setting a user modifier, we understood exactly how interdependent those things are. So in this example here, people in London much more likely to shop for certain products on a device than people in Los Angeles. And so therefore, the dependency between a modifier on London and a modifier on device are linked. Right now, we're treating them as an industry as independent variables, and thus we're getting suboptimal results. And then finally, what if we could predict the pricing of our competitors and know this before we actually bid on a product or a keyword? So what if we knew not to bid when we weren't competitive in a marketplace for a given product? And what if we knew to bid and bid aggressively if we were the lowest priced product? Again, we would leave less money on the table. We drive higher profitability for us and our advertisers. So why aren't we doing all this stuff today? Anyone? All right, good. Well, I'll answer then. I'd say the biggest gap is on the data side. So in order to do this and do this well at huge scale, we need to have a lot of really highly unbiased data, and we need technology systems that can make a lot of great sense of that data. And I don't think there's many companies on the planet that can say that they have that size of data and the technology stack that's able to act on that data. We feel like we are one of the companies out there that actually can. So at Criteo, we grew up in the retargeting space. We are the global leader in retargeting. We have over 1 billion users that we touch every month. We see 4 billion SKUs coming through our system. We have 13,000 clients and 17,000 publishers that we work with. So we have a huge data stack in order to make sense of. I think the stat I saw recently was that we see 1/4 of the world's e-commerce transactions through our tags. So this is a massive, massive data set that helps us really understand how consumers interact with sites, how they interact with products, how they buy, what influences their decision making. So to that end, myself and a couple of the other folks in the room here, we came into Criteo about 1.5 years ago in an acquisition to build search applications that took advantage of this huge data set that we have access to here at Criteo. And so to that end, the first product to come out of that effort is something that we call Criteo Predictive Search. And it's the first machine learning system on the planet that helps our advertisers optimize and automate all aspects of a Google Shopping campaign. So soup to nuts, starting with the feed and optimizing the feed and extracting data from that feed that helps us understand what the products are all about, what are the relationships between products, and then through to the account structuring, the audience management, so taking all of the great segments that we've created on the display retargeting side and bringing those into Google, and then finally the bidding side. So we've bid on hundreds of thousands of display campaigns over the last many years, and all of the data from those display campaigns and the resulting conversion rates and the resulting product data goes into our bid algorithms. And then finally, all of that performance data goes back into our system so that it can learn and improve over time. So we launched this about 6 weeks ago. We already have some great results from customers. You have some more in the folders there, but big name customers who sell a lot online are coming to us and saying, hey, I think I'm under-optimized in my shopping campaigns. I have a small team working on it. I have a small agency working on it. I'm not seeing the results that I'm hearing out in the marketplace that other advertisers are seeing. And so early on in this release, we've seen some really great results from our customers. And we have access to a lot of customers. So across the business, we see retailers of all shapes and sizes. We're starting to talk to them about their needs in this channel, and we've seen a lot of success so far. So there's folks in the room that work on this product with me. Feel free to find them if you want to chat more about it. But thanks again for your time and showing up for the presentation and being a part of this summit. It's always a great time. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Dave. Great stuff. So where's the team here? The Criteo folks, right here? Criteo. Yeah, raise your hand. Sorry, I was talking to men, your cars, come on. So if you have questions about this, grab these guys. They also left folders here with some takeaways as well that kind of touches on some of the products that Dave talked about. So take those with you as well. And then the hand warmers, you're going to need those for the afternoon activities. And getting into that here right now, here's what we have going on today. It's skiing. Should be pretty good out there with the 3 inches or so that we got last night. And then, of course, let's see. I wasn't ready to make this announcement. Sorry about that. Give me a second. Let's see here. We have, oh, that's right, the tubing at Gorgoza Park. And that will be at 2 o'clock downstairs. We'll have a shuttle that'll go out there. If you haven't done that before, it's hilarious. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. And then, of course, we have snowboarding at Park City. Again, today, 4 p.m., we have the Opry Ski Party, this time sponsored by DoubleClick. That'll be over at the Troll Holland Bar, just like yesterday. That begins at 4 o'clock. And then we'll gather over here at about 6:15. Is that the idea for the shuttle, sir? 6:15. Make your way over, sure. Make your way over here to the front of the lodge, because at about 6:15 we'll get on the shuttle bus and head down to Park City Main Street, where we'll have a cocktail party at the Wasatch Brew Pub, and that's sponsored by Resolution. That'll be at 6:30, and then that'll go for about an hour, and then at 7:30 we have dinner just down the street at Chimayo, and that's sponsored by our friends at Taboola. And then later on, after dinner, just next door, we'll head to the Spur for an after party from 9 o'clock until ? And that's sponsored by our friends here at Criteo. And we'll have a shuttle service to bring you back too if you at any point want to come home. So lots still to do today. Go out, have a great time. Thanks again to Dave and Criteo for closing down the afternoon. Yes, sir? Yes? The snowboarders. Well, they'll meet out front at 2 o'clock. That's the ideal spot. So if you have any questions, ask Jun Mian outside, and have a great afternoon. Thanks a lot for a great day, and we'll see you tonight. Thanks.